Hello, welcome to Shawn and Alisha Have a Stand-In podcast. My name is Shawn.
My name is Alisha.
And we are going to take the place of Carter for a little while, and I have some other friends and special guests lined up.
What?
But, I mean, it's all Alisha all the time.
That's right.
Because she wants to do a podcast for 10 weeks in a row.
Never mind. You can invite friends.
See, I knew you didn't want to. So what's up, Alisha Pez?
Nothing.
How's it feel to take over the reins from a computer wizard?
I didn't know Carter was a wizard.
Well, he does talk about
How do
computers
you know I'm
a
not
lot.
a wizard?
Because you didn't know where your headset was.
You put it away.
Sure I did.
You did. I don't touch things.
Uh-huh.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? I'm asking you how you are.
Oh, well, I'm pretty good. Should I just
You don't have any fun
comfy
anecdotes
day?
to tell?
No.
You've never listened to our podcast, have you?
I have not. I'm pretty good. I have the day off. It's going to be awesome.
See?
I might go see The Dark Knight for the third time.
Wait, really?
Rises. My mom wants to see it.
Oh. Has she not seen it yet?
No.
Darren Franick from EW said that is his favorite blockbuster of the summer. Not The Avengers?
Yeah.
What do you mean, well, duh?
Duh.
Did you like Batman more than The Avengers?
I don't know. Never mind. I did like them both.
It feels like I don't know you anymore.
No, I like them both. I can understand why people would say that they are the two to choose from, and if you happen to like Batman more.
His top 4 list was The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Then Prometheus.
I didn't like that much.
Then The Avengers. Then The Expendables 2.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like this person's list in general.
I was a little confused.
I'm gonna add in the Hunger Games from earlier this year as my third fave.
See, that's how you do it.
I know.
You did it.
I did it.
So
I segued.
Let's talk about the Hunger Games.
Guys, the point of this podcast was to get to the Hunger Games.
So the Hunger Games came out on DVD and Blu-ray. Yay.
Yay.
And we got
watched
to
it again.
re-experience it.
That was my fourth, maybe fifth time.
So what is your total experience with the Hunger Games? Like, what order did you do
All right,
things?
let me go with this. All right. I heard that they were fantastic, right? And I love to read, so I was like, I'm in. I read
you heard
everything.
that the books were fantastic.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a reader. If I hear that a book is good, I will read it, and then I will judge it a little bit. These books were good. They were not great. Anyway.
We'll talk about your judgment of 50 Shades of Grey later.
Oh, well, that's... Anyway. So I read all the books. I read all the books again immediately because I do that. I'm pretty sure I read all 3 and then immediately went back and read all 3. They're very short.
Because you can read them in a day.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a very fast reader. If I'm gonna get enjoyment out of it, it better be full, worthwhile money enjoyment. I gotta get a few solid hours. So I read them all twice, and then the movie came out like a month later. And I saw the movie at midnight with my friend Kylie. I saw the movie a week later with you. And then I saw the movie another week later with my mom. So I saw the movie 3 times in theaters. And then just a few nights ago, we watched The Hunger Games again for my 4th viewing.
Okay. So my process was very different.
Yeah, it was.
I avoided the books not because I was like, ew, Hunger Games, just because I was like, whatever. And then
Chick books.
when the marketing stuff started coming out for the movie, I started getting really worried because it looked like other Twilight. It was just like, look at the hunky guys, and here's a young girl, and I was like, oh, really?
Other Twilight, no thanks.
And then the movie came out, and you saw it.
I did.
The reviews came out, and the reviews were very good. I think it
Yes.
ended up with like an 85 or an 87 on Rotten
solid.
Tomatoes. And basically the consensus was, you might not think you'll like this, but you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
And so
I knew the moment that would turn everything for you. We'll get there eventually.
So I was like, fine, I guess I will see it for my own opinion. And I saw it, and yes, there is a moment in the movie that I was all of a sudden like, well, damn it, now I got to read the books. So after we saw the movie,
yes,
I read the books, and overall, I'm still kind of disappointed with the way that the books are written.
Yeah.
But after seeing what they did for the first movie, I'm excited for what the other movies could be.
Good. Me too. Okay, I was actually excited for what the other books could be, and again, that was not.
From here on out, I think we should warn people there will be spoilers.
Spoiler alerts.
We'll try and leave the rest of the series spoilers out of this. This will just be Hunger Games.
Oh.
Until the end.
Okay.
And we'll do like a 5-minute at the end.
Okay.
Like, here's all the
can do
things I
that.
hate about everything else. Okay. So, Get Out if you don't want to know about the Hunger Games.
Right.
All right. Are they gone?
Yes, I think so.
You saw them go?
Yes. Shuffled
Okay.
out quietly.
So, first of all, the Hunger Games the book and the movie start completely differently. The book starts with, and this was one of my major complaints on a vlog originally, the book starts with a giant exposition
The book's like, hey,
chapter.
here's everything you need to know. I'm going to narrate it in my head.
And I made the mistake of complaining that it was in first person. And I guess
Yes.
I guess my real problem was that it was in first person and it was written for a child.
Yeah. It's
It's
a young
like-
adult book.
Here's what happened to my family. Here's what the Hunger Games are. Here's what... And I was just like, well, okay, couldn't you have just shown me that? And in the movie, they just show you it.
Yes.
They start with the title. Before the title screen, you get the blurb from their
Right.
constitution or whatever
Yeah.
that says like,
We will have a Hunger Games.
yes. And it says, it still doesn't really say what it is. It
No.
just says like a male and female from each
Will be
district
given
will
as
be
tribute.
given. And then the movie actually starts on the reaping day.
Yes.
And you still don't really know what's going on. Like, I think the first thing I thought of was that short story, The Lottery, that
Yeah.
everyone reads in middle
Yes,
school.
of course.
And I was like, are these people could just be like getting names pulled out of a hat to die, which later President Snow is like, we could
We
just
don't
do
do
that, you know?
Right.
Because President Snow is
Kind of evil.
he's a dick.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you go through the reaping day and the traumatic events of everything that happens with Katniss and
Which
her
makes
sister.
Sean cry every time.
Which is really hard to get through
Oh,
and be emotionless.
it's true.
Jennifer Lawrence, like 10 minutes into that movie, you're like, I'm sold.
Yeah,
She's really good.
she is.
I can see why she was nominated for an Oscar already.
I want to see that movie. Side point.
Which
Winter's Bone.
Winter's Bone?
Just cause.
Well, I would like to see it too.
Okay.
Let's write it on the calendar.
Put it on a next podcast.
Okay. It might be a little too. It's like an adult movie, right?
Oh, okay. So nobody has any interest in it?
No, it's a porno.
Oh.
Winter's Bone.
Oh, that's terrible.
Come on, I was
All
just
right.
waiting.
Back to the Hunger Games.
So then you get the little teaser of Gale,
Gale. Who even cares about him?
which
He's big.
before I read the books, I was like, who is Gale?
Right. When I read the books, I was like, who is Gale?
Who is Gale?
I talked to my friend Laura. I want to tell you, I started reading the books, and midway through the first one, I was just like, Laura, I will just be distraught if she doesn't end up with Peeta. Because I was pro Peeta all the way. All
Right.
the way. And she's like, what? No, I'm a Gale person. I was like, how? He has like a line. And
You don't know a
character-
thing about Gale
exactly.
for the
Like, how
entire
can you
first
be
movie.
on his side just because she was sort of with him first? It's upsetting.
Was she with?
I don't know.
Every time they would cut away to Gale during the movie, they would like
He was just looking for Lorne.
they would cut back to him in the seam looking sad
Yeah.
or whatever. And my response was always like, I think of her like a sister.
I never liked her. No.
She's just my nerdy little sister. She's good
Yeah.
with a bow.
Yes.
But anyway, casting of Katniss I think was great. Jennifer Lawrence basically does everything on her face that you would have expected from all that first person
Yes.
narrative that's going on in their head. So thank God they did not do voiceover. Oh my God.
Oh, that would have been awful.
I would have been so sad.
Josh Hutcherson does less with his face. It is unfortunate.
What
I
you-
liked Peeta far more in the books. Enough said.
I think she gets really angry at Peeta in the books for his like naivete.
Affability.
Like and in the movie it's not so clear why she's getting mad at him
Yeah.
because he doesn't do that as much.
No.
Also, she poisons him at one point. Not poisons,
Yeah, she
sedates.
does. She sedates him.
And they cut that right out of the movie.
They did.
They said no.
He just fell asleep. He's like, oh, he's conveniently asleep. I can sneak out now. Whereas before she's like, I will put this guy to sleep and then sneak out.
See, I kind of liked that. I liked that character trait.
Yeah.
She had the right answer, so she would do it.
I was fine with it in the book. I was sad they took out a few things. They kind of had to. It was a long enough movie as it was.
It kind of makes me think of we watched the Alien and Aliens and Prometheus like little thing. In the first Alien movie, at the end of the movie, she what's her name? Ripley goes back one last time into the ship, and in the version that we watched, which I didn't know was the director's cut, she encounters two of her crewmates who are like stuck to the wall, and the alien's gonna do whatever with them, and they're like, kill us, please kill me, and she does. She flame throws them. And originally in the theatrical cut, I guess the studio made them cut that. They were like, that I don't know about that. That makes her look kind of... And I'm like, no, that makes her...
She did what she had to for her friends to save them.
So that's the thing with Katniss. Yeah. Like, I wish they had left
If it was actually a zombie apocalypse, she would have killed all her friends before they became zombies.
Oh, what a sweetheart. Other things that I'm not sad that they changed from the books, the first book, the dogs at the end...
Oh, yeah.
The dogs at the end of the movie are just,
Just dogs.
Just dogs. Like computer-generated, whatever. Scary dogs. In the book, they were...
Mutant-y things.
They were supposed to have...
traits, people eyes.
The eyes of the contestants, which I thought...
The already dead ones.
Which I thought was pretty weird.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad they didn't try and do that.
Agreed. How do you put people eyes in a dog?
Well, weren't they still just like computer-generated or whatever?
I don't know.
Simulations of the arena.
I don't understand. How does the arena work? It works like magic in my mind.
It is magic.
It's all just magic. Whatever.
For all intents and purposes.
Yes. Favorite characters from the movie? Casting-wise, I believe we talked nonstop about how much we loved Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks
She was incredible.
As
Effie.
Effie is phenomenal.
She is. She was so funny.
Ever in your favor.
That is mahogany.
Based on what I know about the sequels, I'm really excited to see her continue on.
Absolutely.
Because she remains so prim and proper through what is
manners.
Basically a rebellion and war.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
What? We didn't get there yet.
Okay, so that was the thing. Katniss gets selected for the Hunger Games. She goes to the thing. They train.
Yes.
She impresses the judges by shooting at them.
Showing her fury. Showing her tightly controlled rage.
Thank you for your consideration.
Yes.
And then they go into the games.
Mm-hmm.
And
she makes a friend.
She makes
a very dear friend.
A little friend named Rue, who is like...
A 12.
She's the heart of the movie. She's the heart of this story.
Yeah.
I pointed out on this viewing that she is the Deus Ex Machina, because without her, Katniss would have died.
Right.
And without her dying, Katniss might not have
been as motivated.
Found the rage that she needed to avenge her.
And Rue is from a different district.
Rue is from District 8?
11.
11. And what's in District 8? Why is that ringing a bell for some reason?
I don't know.
Are you sure District 1 and the Capitol aren't the same thing?
I am pretty sure, Mr. Shawn.
So here's a quick little story. Alicia and I already recorded a podcast about the Hunger Games.
We did. And it was ruined.
Some of you may know, like every so often when I live stream or something, all of a sudden my computer will sound like it's like vomiting my audio.
Robot.
Well, our entire half-hour podcast sounded like that.
Sounded like robots.
And it included an argument over whether District 1 and the Capitol were the same thing, which they are not.
No. The Capitol is the capital, and then there are the districts.
And
all of the districts have
I don't know why
people.
I didn't understand that.
You're very silly.
When I Googled our District 1 in the as soon as I started typing that, it auto-completed.
Yeah.
It was like, are District 1 and the Capitol the same thing? It's like, Google's like, I get asked that every day. So anyway, Rue.
We also had a discussion about what Panem meant. Go on. Rue.
Yeah, and that one I was right about.
Yes, I was very wrong.
Thank you for volunteering that information.
No problem.
Panem means bread.
And circuses.
Well, it means bread, but it's from a phrase that means bread and circuses, which is explained in the last book.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Rue
is from District 11, and she dies after trying to help Katniss. Well, she does help Katniss. She starts a distraction, but then she gets trapped. And then someone kills her. Mm-hmm. Some random
District 5 guy.
Who gets immediately killed by Katniss.
Or maybe District 2 guy.
It's actually the first person that Katniss kills.
No, it's not. Doesn't she kill a guy in the very like first minute getting the backpack? Or
Not-
does somebody?
not in
Somebody
the
else
movie.
kills him. That's right. I don't remember.
If she did in the book, I don't remember. But definitely not in the movie. This was her first one. Rue dies, and in the book, she explains that she like in her head, she's like, in District 11, I'm sure they're watching this, blah, blah, blah.
Well, yeah, but she also gets a gift from them, so she knows they're watching.
Right. But she doesn't know what's going on
Right.
because you're stuck in first person.
Right.
In the movie,
They do a flash.
they're able to flash to District 11 where you see them watching it on TV. And then they do the symbol that they do with their 3 fingers held up. And then things start going crazy. There's a riot. They charge all of the peacekeepers, and violence ensues. And that was the moment that I turned to Alisha and I was like, okay, fine, I'll read the books.
It was actually.
Because I finally understood, like, oh, this is a story about a rebellion and about
Not
like
just a girl
the
going
end
to
of
the
an
Hunger
empire.
Games.
Right.
Yeah. And well, I want to say, like, I mean, from what I had heard of the Hunger Games, I knew vaguely what it was about. When I first started reading the books, the first book, I didn't even think she was going to make it to the first Hunger Games. I thought she was going to find a way to, like, throw in a rebellion in, like, 2 weeks.
And
she's such an incendiary, like, a character.
Even in the movie, it takes so long to get to the Hunger Games. You still could have thought that.
But at the same time, it's very short time span, actually. It takes a while in the movie, but it's only like 2 days.
2 or 3 days.
Yeah, that's it.
The training before the before
and then
the
they're
games.
in. I think the book starts and she's in the arena within a week or something like that. Like, it's very short. And then the arena's much longer, but it looks much shorter in the movie.
Yeah, it does. I think they deliberately compress time in the movie.
Yeah.
Because in the book, I mentioned this on my original vlog when I was talking about my restructuring of the narrative, which now at this point, I think the movie is so much better than the book. I don't care anymore.
Right.
I don't need them to do that. They spend like days in that cave.
They do.
In the movie, it seems like it's like 1 night or 2 nights.
2 nights.
2 nights. And in the book, it's probably like 4.
A week?
Or
like
longer.
It's a while.
Yeah. And it was fine that they cut it.
Yeah.
They cut it down and kept things moving.
Right. One of the changes that I know disliked, one of the additions that they made in the movie was the game makers themselves.
Right.
And the enlargement of the part of Seneca.
I don't think I have as much of a complaint about it now.
Oh, why's that?
Because I think they're setting up for Plutarch.
Okay.
I didn't realize.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't realize how big the part of the game maker was going to be in the next book. And now that I know that, I think maybe it was important to show how a game maker works on the game.
Okay.
So like in the first book, you know who the game maker is, but you don't really know anything about it.
No.
In the movie, they show you what he's doing.
Yeah. He's the director.
Yeah. And the second book, it's Plutarch Evansby. Is that his name?
I don't know. Plutarch.
Plutarch something. And we now know that he's going to be played by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes. Which is going to be...
He's in the next 2 books.
Yes.
And I'm very excited for him.
I know. Me too.
Technically, he should have been in the first movie because when Katniss shoots at all of the judges or whatever,
he's one of the people.
He's one of the people on the stage.
He knocks over
He falls into the punch bowl.
Yeah.
Which,
damn
it,
if that would have done so well.
Right, if that would have been his only scene, falling into a punch bowl, that would have been great.
Yes.
But too bad.
No, I'm excited to see him in the next episode, most definitely. He's an interesting character. I think I ended up liking him out of the adults, because, there's many adults that are so far above Katniss or whatever. I like him quite a bit. They've cast a few other roles. They cast Joanna. I don't know if they still have a Finnick. He's one of the...
They do.
They cast him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's find out.
I'll find... Well, hold on. Let's like finish this, and then we'll talk about the upcoming a little bit.
So, okay, you're more all right with the game makers being in the movie after our second viewing and reading the books.
And it made the ending at the end when the games end. She decides that her and Peter are both gonna end it.
Yeah.
And she's got the berries.
Yes.
So then they get out of it, and someone needs to pay for this. So he does that thing with the berries with Seneca.
Oh, which was wonderful.
So by showing Seneca a couple times and like kind of getting attached to him,
right,
then getting to see his his poetic end was
Yeah.
a little more powerful.
It was. I really enjoyed the ending. He was so surprised. Like
And
he didn't see it coming. I don't know how.
we couldn't remember after we'd seen it in the theater and read the books, we couldn't remember if Snow threatens her at the end. Because in the books, he definitely does. Mm-hmm. He knows that she doesn't really love PETA or like...
Oh, you're not very convincing.
Right. He doesn't buy it. And he thinks that she's just trying to survive, which maybe she is.
Right.
Probably.
She is.
She's Katniss. And in the movie, you don't really get that impression.
No, like, he's not quite so evil
yet. He privately admits like he's worried. But he doesn't say anything to her.
He knows he doesn't like the underdogs.
Right.
I did like that speech a little bit.
Yeah, it was good. As far as casting, I love everyone except for maybe Donald Sutherland. I don't know why him in that role. Is it because
he looks so kindly?
Maybe because he kind of looks like
Santa. He does. I don't know why, but I pictured him much more bald. I'm sure he probably has hair in the book, and it wouldn't have shown him like that. But in my mind, he actually looked like a hint of a person with a hint of Voldemort in him, like very reptilian.
I think I was picturing something Caesar-esque, which would be like bald and clean-shaven. And
I pictured someone somewhat. Well, he has so many, like he said, surgeries. They talk about it, so I don't really know. And he has
You'd think he might look younger.
Yeah, just weird, just a little bit.
He might be blue or something.
Probably, yes.
He might have a second head like Zaphod.
Yes. Any of the above.
I'm just throwing them out there. Okay, so yeah. If you're still listening and you haven't watched or read the books,
do it.
You should at least watch the movie. I think your mind will be changed about what you think this series is like.
Agreed.
And Susan Collins, is that her name?
Yes.
Suzanne Collins.
Susan.
She wrote the screenplay for the movie. So
there were 2 other writers. It wasn't just her, but yes.
Yes. But I mean, they obviously figured out what worked and how to present it. Like I talked about exposition being given away. The fact that her father died in a mining accident, you don't find out until halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
In the book, you learn that on like the second page.
Yeah.
And it's more compelling to.
It's a better reveal later.
Pace the information.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about sequel information.
Upcoming exciting things.
We have casting information for Catching Fire. So what do you see that's interesting? Oh, he's rumored. Fennec is rumored.
So they still don't really know.
Sam Claflin?
Who
is this person? He was in...
Things I don't know.
The Huntsman. Snow White and the Huntsman.
Okay.
And a bunch of... He was in the Pillars of the Earth miniseries, which we did not watch.
Nope.
But sounded good.
Jenna Malone.
Jenna Malone is going to play Joanna Mason, which means she'll be naked the entire movie. That's great.
Yeah.
Joanna's naked the whole time.
She does seem to like to take her clothes off. I doubt that they'll do that, really.
Too bad. Amanda Plummer, who's in Pulp Fiction, is playing Wiress, which is cool because she's supposed to be crazy, and Amanda Plummer's kind of good at playing crazy.
Okay. Good.
I don't know who Alan Richson is playing Gloss.
Oh.
Do you know who that is?
No.
Who's Gloss?
I don't know.
I don't remember that either.
Probably like a District 1 previous winner.
Oh, he's one of the beautiful looking man.
Yes, agreed.
Look at him. He's Captain America right there.
He is.
No one else can see what we're looking at. Mm-hmm. Tony Shalhoub is rumored to be playing BT.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I've been seeing that rumor for like 6 weeks, so I'm pretty sure.
Okay, could be.
He's probably gonna play that.
Could be for real.
Lynn Cohen, Toby Jones is Claudius.
He was in the first.
He was in the first one. That's right.
Yes. So yeah, they're getting it fleshed out. It seems.
And it is supposed to be released the end of the year next year. So we have quite a while to wait.
We do.
I thought that they were shooting already, but maybe...
Obviously not, if they didn't have everything.
If the cast is not completely announced.
Right. You would think that they would still be working on it.
So minor spoilers for the rest of the books in case you don't want to know.
Yeah.
The second book deals with another arena, which...
I was very disappointed that they went back to the Hunger Games a second time.
Yeah, and I mean... There are things that they can fix in the movies from the books that I didn't like. That won't be one thing that they can fix.
Right, they kind of have to go.
They can't just undo that plot. You spend the entire second book in an arena again. And, the last page is the page that they get out of the arena.
Right.
So all of the rebellion stuff takes place in the last book, which is going to be split up into 2 movies because that's the way they're going to do it.
Are you sure?
I'm
I
positive.
Mean, come on, they can make less money and just do one.
I think it's already been announced.
I think it has been.
If it hasn't, it will be. But then
the last book.
The rebellion is where my real problems start.
Yeah.
I've got some real issues with the way they fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a war as much as Hunger Games Part 3.
Yeah.
It's like President Snow only knows how to deploy things that are arena based.
Yes.
He's like, here's some crazy mutant badgers to nibble at
the
your
fact
ankles.
that the last book had their final like thing in the city, and the city was in her mind just another Hunger Games. I was like, really? So this is like the third one? That is pretty lame. As I said, I didn't even think that they were going to get to the Hunger Games in the first book. Like, I thought she would throw some sort of rebellion somehow beforehand. They made it back again and sort of again.
The arena in the second book is really cool.
It is.
I like
most definitely
all of the things about it.
Yeah.
But I just was kind of like, oh, where's the war?
Yeah.
And the war was taking place. We just weren't seeing it.
Yeah, she wasn't a part of it. She's literally just the face of it. Like, to everybody, she's the
Mockingjay.
Yeah, but that's it. She has no other people are out there actually fighting.
Yeah. I think when they get to the fighting in the third and fourth movies, I have a feeling they will change a lot of aspects about it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, when I was reading about how Suzanne was writing the book, she also wanted to do more about how, I guess, PTSD affects people that have been in situations like that. She wasn't necessarily trying to write about rebellion and things like that. She wanted to show like what war and can actually do to people.
And killing people.
Yeah. And Katniss is definitely very damaged.
I got that.
Even after the first one, but more so after the second one, because, I mean, during the second book, she sleeps with Peeta. Just sleeping, guys.
Sleeping.
In the train.
Spooning.
Yeah. Cuddles.
It's cute.
Because she can't sleep. So she's already having nightmares and things like that. You can see the ramifications. But the third book is when she's sort of basically catatonic for, like, Katniss. Catatonic. Anyway, for like a third of the book. And then even the second parts, she's still messed up.
And Peeta's more than messed up.
Yeah, he gets psychologically messed up, altered by drugs and horror.
That was probably the most interesting thing that happened to him.
Yes, definitely. It was the most surprising thing to me.
Yeah, it definitely surprised me. He seemed like such a reliable character. I was just like, oh, he's going to be this guy forever.
Right.
I didn't think that they could
I was afraid he would be lost. Like, he was just going to be crazy Peeta forever. And I was like, oh, no wonder they've had Gale waiting in the wings. She's going to be gone, so she's got to get together with Gale. It's going to happen. And then Peeta got better. Confusing.
So you won, right?
Yes. Sure.
You were on Peeta's side.
Yeah. I didn't win. He won. They won each other.
Hi, Alisha.
Hi, Shawn. How loud should we be talking?
That loud.
Okay.
Normal.
This is pretty normal. Look how tiny our bumps are.
Our bumps are tiny.
I will punch you. Squishy bars.